Welcome to the ramblings of a random crazy guy on the internet. So I wanted to talk about this. I've talked about it in previous videos, and if you've seen my previous videos, you already know what this is. You've seen this before. I've cleaned it up a little bit. I've added to it. When I opened up the recent Summerslam packs, I mentioned that I would be kind of breaking out what I opened and kind of digging into that data a little bit to see, like, really break down what you get. Is it worth it? Like, what kind of value does a 20-piece box actually get you? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Originally, I wanted this to be, like, right now, I think 2K is a little better now. We got some really good daily rewards, which I'm really happy about. And I think, at least for the last, 6 months or whatever, however long the game's been out, they've certainly deserved some scrutiny, but I think they also deserve some benefit of the doubt. I think they deserve some praise. Some people will probably disagree with me, and that's fine. But originally, I wanted to make this video about kind of talking through that, how I feel about them, the positives about it. I don't want to just be a negative guy on the internet that builds his channel around negativity. And I like 2K. I like the game. Well, I don't like 2K as a company. I use 2K as because I don't want to say WWE because there's too many freaking syllables in that. I like WWE 2K25. I have a lot of fun playing it, and so I might do that later. Originally, it was going to be part of this video, like I said, but I don't want this video to get too long. It's already too long with me rambling as it is. So that will be another video where I talk about areas I think that they do really well, areas that I think they can improve in, and not so much just, this sucks, you suck, yeah, you make bad decisions. I want to kind of break it down into some things that I think in like a constructive criticism, feedback type manner, and discuss some of my experiences working for big corporations that produce software products. So I don't know, that'll be coming. Anyways, we're jumping into data today, if you're kind of a nerd like I am. So these, like I said, if you've seen previous videos, you already know what we're looking at here. This is just a recap for you. You can check this out and, screenshot it or whatever you want to do with it. So first, this little section up here is kind of like a MFP calculator for me. So we have a 20-piece box, 20-pack box. Anytime 2K releases new quote-unquote trading card sets, they come in as you get like basic packs, deluxe packs, basic 10 packs, deluxe 10 packs, and 20-pack boxes. The 20-pack boxes are great because you get additional cards, sometimes like 3 additional cosmetic cards. So usually I like to open up those, and they cost 540,000 MFP, which I think is ridiculous. Cost 486 VC, which is 90% of the MFP costs, which I also think is ridiculous because VC is real money, and I think that at max should probably be like 50%, but again, I'm just a random guy on the internet. So over here, when we're grinding for matches, we want to be as efficient as possible with time and MFP, and you can kind of mess around with it, right? So the loading time is 34 seconds. This is how long it takes from bell to bell. The match ends, and then you have your animation screens of people celebrating. You have a loading screen. You have the screens at the end of the match that break down like how you got your MFP. And then you have another loading screen. Then you go to the main screen. Then you got to select the match. And then you got to select the character. And then you got to hit start. And then you got to wait for a loading screen. Then a splash screen. Then a loading screen, right? All that time in between matches is time consuming. So 34 seconds is really consistent for me. It's almost always 34 seconds. And that's time I'm not getting MFP, right? So I want to make sure that I have that in the calculation. This has changed since the last time I showed this. My current grind method, 670 MFP for a 22-second match. It's wildly inconsistent. This is the best I've gotten, the absolute best I've gotten. And it happens maybe once out of 10 matches. But if you can manage to do that consistently, that is it takes 56 seconds from match to match with the load time for 670 MFP. That means to get 540,000 MFP, you have to play that match 806 times for a total of about 12 and a half hours. Now, the nice thing is I can kind of manipulate this a little bit. So let's say there's another MFP grind method that I want to try. Let's say it's 643 MFP. So obviously it's going to take more matches, take more time. But what if I can knock it out consistently instantly in 20 seconds. Well, not much of a difference, right? It's about the same, more matches, so maybe that method's not really worth it. But what if it can get me 650 MFP? Oh, a little bit faster, a little bit, right? More matches, less time. So you can kind of calculate this, if you find different methods. I kind of play with this to see which one is the most efficient, but so far my best that I've actually been able to achieve is this one. So 12 and a half hours. This little table here is just calculating how much VC you get per dollar, how much a 20-piece box costs, depending on how you buy your VC, and then what that breakdown is per card. So we can see here, these are the bundles that you can buy for VC, the cost of what it actually costs to buy those bundles, how much VC you get per dollar. So clearly the best option here is to go with the $100 bundle because you get 1,000 more VC over the $5, and then we can see the price breakdown. So obviously it's, as you can see here, the $40 cheaper for a 20-piece box if you do the $100 bundles over a bunch of $5 bundles. And then we can see here, once you do that, you have 20 packs. There's 5 cards per pack. That's 100 cards, $1.21 per card it costs in real money. Now, MFP is fine too if you have the time to grind for MFP, but it also kind of depends on how much you value your time. If you put it like a price on time, you got family and kids and stuff, and maybe your time's more valuable. If you put your value of your time at say $20 an hour, the cost of this box is like what, $300 by the time you crank out 12 hours or however much it is. I don't feel like doing the math, but it's significantly more. I can't bring myself to grind that much. I'll grind here and there. Like I'll hop on, maybe I'll grind out 5 matches, get a few thousand here and there throughout the day, or but I'm not sitting there grinding for 12 and a half hours. That's crazy. This is the cost breakdown for packs themselves. So the single packs, the 10-pack boxes, and the 20-pack box. So we can see here, this is how much it actually costs if you're buying it with VC, and then the breakdown for cost per pack. And I was just curious about this one. So like, as you can see, a deluxe pack, if you were to buy 20 of them, you save almost 70 cents per pack. I'm sitting here like, look at how much you can say. I sound like a salesperson, right? All you got to do is buy 20. Like, you can't afford not to. I mean, that's just what the numbers are. I'm not trying to tell you to buy a bunch of them or save money. I'm just showing you what the breakdown actually is. Don't listen to me. I'm not a salesperson. And then down here is something you kind of take this one with a grain of salt because it changes so frequently. But my initial thought was, all right, so let's say I have MFP. How much does it cost to buy a superstar in the card market? It's only superstars because that's the only thing you can buy individually. Like, you can't buy managers or cosmetics or oddities. There's no market for that. It's only superstars. So, all right, how much would it cost to buy it with MFP? How much does it cost to buy with VC? Some of the information's not here because I just don't have it in my card market. And then I have the trade value. So this is the value that I get if I pull a duplicate. How much MFP do I get back for it? And so with MFP, we can see what the trade value is. So let's say it's a diamond. If you want to buy it from the card market, it's going to be 120,000. There are some that are like 90,000. There are some amethyst cards that are like 47,000, but for the most part, they're 120,000. And if you pull a duplicate, it's 11,250, which is less than 10% of the value, which I don't think is good at all. I don't think that's even close to where it should be. Now, I don't know if 2K has ever broken this down or if they just kind of throw numbers and stuff sticks and they don't even think about any of this. Cause like, look how wildly different some of these are. So like, nobody said like, yeah, whatever the cost is in the card market, just give them, 10%. Like it's all over the place. I don't quite understand why or where it's coming from, but these are all way too low. And again, take it with a grain of salt. They change, and all this could be wrong, but I'm just trying to get an idea. And then this is what the actual cost is if you buy it in VC, which some of these, like, I wouldn't mind paying $5 for a diamond card, $27 for a single card. that's ridiculous. So you have to find those or grind for that, because I can't bring myself to spend $27 on a single card. So that's what this page is. You can do with it what you will. I think it's interesting. If you think it's interesting, cool. If not, no, whatever. So now I want to look at Summerslam. Volume 1, I opened up a 20-pack box, and I wanted to get some data out of it because I'm curious to see how much value you get out of it. And so as you can see here, I broke it down by card, and then I have type, superstar, manager, cosmetic, side plate, and oddity. Here I label it as whether or not it's a duplicate. So this is how I can tell how many cards I pulled that I actually needed and how many I pulled that were duplicates. I have side plates here as their own thing, because side plates... Please, everybody, let me know in the comments if you use side plates. Like, I'm genuinely curious who uses side plates. I used side plates one time, and I feel like they didn't make any difference. But for me, side plates have zero value. They have zero value to me. You get a daily reward thing, and it's a pack of side plates. Useless to me. Just don't give me anything, right? And so same thing when you open it in a pack, you get a side plate. Like, yeah, that's a wasted pull for me. That could have been another superstar or an oddity or something. But now I have this side plate that's not a duplicate. I don't get any MFP for it. I get zero value out of this thing. So I don't know. But if you use them, you don't use them, let me know in the comments below, because I'm really genuinely curious. And I wonder if 2K has any kind of data on that. Maybe people that play ranked use it to give them a little bit of an edge in ranked, but I don't really play ranked. So I don't know. Side plates to me are just useless. I'd rather get 15 MFP. And that's what this next section is, MFP. So if it is a duplicate, what's the MFP I got from that duplicate? These are the packs. So if I pulled a superstar, is it from the promo pack or the series pack? Basically, Summerslam pack or the series 3 pack. And then this last one is rarity, obviously. Oddity, because oddity is kind of its own rarity. We scroll down, we have 100 cards, and now I can kind of break it out. If you're thinking of buying a 20-pack box, this is kind of what I think you can expect. And we'll look at Summerslam Volume 2 also, so you can kind of see, like, is this just luck? Like, did I just get lucky? Did I get really unlucky? We'll compare that. And Summerslam 2, Volume 2, also introduced some, I don't know, I wouldn't call it shady things, kind of. We'll talk about it. So 100 cards, we can see the types of cards that I got. 30 of those cards were superstar, which is really good. 7 manager cards, that's okay. Cosmetic, this is what surprised me the most, and this is why I wanted to do this actually. 44 cards were cosmetic. So out of 100 cards, almost half of them, almost half, are cosmetics. That's kind of crazy, I think. 16 side plates, 3 oddities. So that's the breakdown on the actual cards that I've gotten. I'll talk about what these numbers are here in a second. I really wouldn't even focus on those. Over here, MFP. This is how much MFP I got back in duplicates. So 91,000. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good. I think probably the highest I've ever gotten back, except for that there was like a glitch once where I don't remember what pack it was, but every pack you opened up, you ended up getting more MFP than the thing was worth. But 91,000 is pretty high, I think. Down here we can see how many duplicates and side plates. So 16 side plates, like I said. 62 of the cards were duplicates. So these were cards I did not need and were strictly just MFP at that point. And 22 cards I actually needed. Over here, these are superstars specifically. So out of the 30 superstars, how many of them were from the Summerslam pack? 21. This is really good. I'm very happy with this number. 9 were from the series 3 pack. The reason why this is so good is like you're guaranteed 1 superstar per pack, and I got 21 superstars. So really I got a Summerslam superstar in every single pack, and then basically got 10 additional superstars from the series 3. So in that case, I probably got pretty lucky. These are really good numbers. I'm not mad at these numbers. Here I have not duplicates. So these are superstars that I actually needed. So out of the 30, I needed 19, which means 11 of them were duplicates. Of the 11 duplicates, 10 of them were duplicates from SummerSlam, from the SummerSlam packs. So 10 SummerSlam duplicates, 1 Series 3 duplicate. Down here we can see see, this is just superstars, again, broken down by rarity. So in this case, maybe I got really lucky again. 9 diamonds for SummerSlam Volume 1. 5 of those were duplicates. So I got 4 diamonds, 5 duplicate diamonds, which is really probably why this MFP is so high. That's by itself is like 57,000 MFP, right? So pretty decent. What I was trying to break down here, so the SummerSlam 1 pack, there's only 14 cards you need to complete the collection. I pulled 21 of them. 10 of them were duplicates. And like, I should have, there's no reason why I shouldn't have been able to get all 14 in a 20-piece box. I did manage to get them, but it took, I did this off camera, a 10-piece, another 10-pack box, because of course Nathan Frazier, which is the one you needed for the live event, was the last one I needed. Pulled another 10, and I got the entire collection except for Nathan Frazier, and then I opened up 2 individual packs from some other live events and managed to find Nathan Frazier. So it took 32 packs to find the 14 cards I needed, even though I pulled 21 of them in the first thing. Crazy. So over here, these are the odds that 2K gives you. If you go to look at the pack, these are the odds that they give you per card type. They get kind of silly here. Logo, wallpaper, and nameplate, they have them separately. I just have them as cosmetics because that's what they are. When I open it up, it's just a cosmetic. I'm not like, oh, it's a logo. Oh, it's a wallpaper. None of this to me, it means shit to me. It just seems like a way to make sure that you get more cosmetics than anything else. But these are the odds. That's what these numbers are supposed to represent. So if we see over here, superstar, you're 100% guaranteed 1 superstar per pack, which means you're guaranteed 20 superstars. I got 30. That's pretty good. 40% manager. I got about 35%. So a little bit low on the manager side, but not low enough that I think there's anything shady going on. 222% of getting cosmetics, but remember, cosmetics are actually 3 different things. So if we divide that by 3, I think it comes out to like 73% or something, which is about dead on with what they're saying. So that's fine. Side plate, 80% in this case. Inside plate over here, 76%. So pretty dead on. And oddity, 15%, 16%. That's almost as dead on as it gets. But to see if something was actually worth it, I broke it down. This is just for superstars again, because you can't compare oddities or managers or cosmetics anywhere else because you can't buy them individually. So what I wanted to look at here are the costs. If I want to buy these cards in the card market, and I guess like some of these numbers I guessed because I don't have any gold in my card market, so I'm kind of guessing on that one. But how much does it cost if I wanted to buy a character in the card market? How many of those did I actually pull that I needed? These aren't duplicates. These are just ones that I pulled that I actually needed that were not duplicates. And then this is how much value I got out of those pulls. And if we add all that up, it's about 816,750 MFP worth of value. And if we add the 91,000 MFP from duplicates, the total value of the box is about 908,000 MFP. So that's pretty good. I mean, the box is still way too damn expensive, but when you break it down, okay, you're getting almost double the value. I wouldn't buy any more than a 20 piece, honestly, if that was the route you wanted to take, because eventually you're just going to get diminishing returns, right? Like, I mean, at this point, you're probably going to start pulling way more duplicates, and the value that you get is going to drop, right? Because the only reason it's so high is because if I needed to buy the card, it's 120,000, but if I get the duplicate, it's only 11,000, right? So it really depends on whether or not you need the card. So, but this is the breakdown for one 20-piece box. It's a lot. It's really boring. If you're still here, thanks. You must find this really interesting, because this is just talking about this and putting myself to sleep. But I think it's interesting to see what kind of value you're actually getting. I did the same thing with SummerSlam Volume 2. This one was a little bit different, though, because they included SummerSlam 1 cards in their SummerSlam 2 packs, which I believe is the first time they've done this, right? They had, WrestleMania and then WrestleMania Volume 2, but I don't remember pulling WrestleMania Volume 1 cards from Volume 2. They had Legends and Legends 2, but I don't remember pulling Legend 1 cards from Legend 2. So I think this is the first time they've done this. Not a big fan. I reached out to support and asked them if it was intended, and I gotta tell, I don't even want to share it because it was so awful. The support I got was just horrendous. Anytime I get support, I've never had to go to support for a video game ever, so I didn't know what to expect. And even before I started doing the content for 2K25, I reached out because there was a bug in Faction Wars where it was like I'd buy the rotating card and it didn't count. It took my Faction War points, but the character wasn't redeemed. It wasn't showing up in my card market or my collection. I didn't know, like, what do I do with that? I've never written to support on a freaking video game before. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I reach out via email. These guys know. Like, they know. They have to know. They work for this company, and I know I'm not the only person asking these questions. So they had to have known in that moment, and in other moments where I've reached out to them, this was a bug. Now, they could have just real efficiently just finished it. They could have just been like, yeah, that's a bug. Here's the link to the page. But no, they don't do that. They want to go in the most inefficient way possible. And they say, oh, I would love to answer this question for you. Can you send me screenshots and videos? Of what? Of what? What do you want? A picture of the thing that doesn't say it's redeemed? Like, what do you mean? You guys have access. You can see what I'm doing, right? I had to give you my ID number or whatever it is. So, like, you guys can clearly see on your end, you took my money, my Faction War points, and I don't have this card. Like, but you already know it's an issue. Just say, yeah, it's a known issue. Here's the link. Follow it. Like, that would have been done. But like, why do I got to send pictures? It's exactly what they did with this. Hey, is this intended or is it not intended? And their response was, oh yeah, I'd love to help you out. Can you send me a video or screenshots? Of what? Like, of what? A Volume 1 card that popped up? Like, yeah, I could send you the video. I shouldn't have to. That's stupid. And there's no way I'm the only person that's reached out about this. How freaking silly. Like, is it intended or not? Like, what does it matter if I say, here's a picture? Okay, now what? Is it intended or is it not intended? Like, what does the picture have anything to do with anything? Did you put them in there on purpose or not? It's such a simple question, man. And they just refuse to answer it because, well, you get pictures. What do you need pictures for? Well, you know, stuff. God, it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. Anyways, here are the statistics for SummerSlam 2. Duplicate MFP, about 58,000, so almost half of what I got previously. Superstars, less than I got previously. And even more cosmetics than I got previously. More side plates than I got previously. Less oddities, a couple more managers. So this one, I didn't mind this one too much. Again, I mean, it's 62, which is almost dead on what I got before. Yeah, 62 duplicates. So 21 cards that I needed. Of those, let's see, 26 of those 26 superstar cards, only 3 of them were SummerSlam 1, so it wasn't as bad as I thought. And in my case, all 3 of them were diamond cards. So I was more irritated when I opened the pack, less irritated after looking at the numbers, because like 3, but they were diamond, so those are 11,000 MFP each. I'd rather have the 11,000 MFP because let's be real, if it wasn't diamond SummerSlam 1, it would have been a duplicate freaking gold Eric for like 100 MFP. I don't. This is the one where I pulled like 6 Erics. Everything just seemed to be freaking Eric. So, I mean, I'm grateful for the extra 35,000 MFP from those duplicates. 12 of the cards were from SummerSlam 2, which I think is pretty lame when previously it was 21. So way lower in SummerSlam Volume 2. 12 series cards. I needed 16 of the cards. 2 of the SummerSlam 2 cards were duplicates. Now we can see the breakdown here. Most of them were diamond, which is great. 4 of them were duplicates. So like almost all of this MFP came from duplicate diamonds, right? Got all these 11,000s. Well, I guess 3 of these were from SummerSlam 1, and so only 1 diamond duplicate was from SummerSlam 2. Here are the odds. They're almost the same. They're slightly different than they were before. Like manager was 41, now it's 40. I think wallpaper was 74 before, now it's 75. oddity about the same. Yeah. So the odds are roughly the same. But yeah, man, half of it is cosmetics. And then in this case, you can see once everything's added together with the MFP added to it, the MFP from the duplicates, 845,000 MFP worth of value. So not as much as SummerSlam 1, but still the value you get out of it, at least in my case, was more than the price of the box. So so that's it. I'm not going to waste any more of your time because this is a lot of information. I don't know if I'll be doing this with other packs or not. Let me know what you think. If you stuck around this long, let me know how you feel about this data. If you found this useful, if this changes your mind on whether or not you want to buy boxes or not, let me know. If you like it. If you don't like it, let me know. Whatever. It's here if you want it. So hopefully you got something out of it. And if there's anything else that you want to see that maybe I haven't started yet or something else you want me to dive into a little deeper, just let me know.